Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Daily Stock Market Update. You can see we did great. We were on the green lines in the morning when I did pre-market update to my subscribers. Around 9 o'clock, I told them we are here, right here on the green line. This is the time to buy. Should be looking to buy. And my subscriber bought, and we touched neutral line, and we made 0.56%. And again, when I came again in afternoon, gave them afternoon update, we were closer here, and still we went and closed above 0.4%. Nasdaq 100 was the best trade of today. And you can see around pre-market, we were here. I told everybody to buy. We made easily around 0.54%. And then afternoon again, we were here around lunchtime. I said, this is a time to buy. We were right on the buy line. And you can see by the end of the day, another 0.7%. So easily 2 to 1.5% trades we can make. And you can see natural gas was the best of all. I told everybody we are in the green line. I told you guys yesterday, this is not when we buy, okay? We don't buy here. You can see here, we don't buy here, we wait. This is where even end of day, I was telling everybody, all subscribers, this is not where you buy. You wait for this to go back to the green lines. And today, natural gas came to the green line. And I told my subscribers in the morning, around 9 o'clock, you can see we are here in the green line. This is where you should be looking to buy. And look what happened. From green lines to the top line, almost 3% trade. If you bought UNG, you made 3%. If you bought Boyle, you made 6% just in one day. So you can see how easily these trades are given to you pre-market, and you can, if you act on it, it works magically. Even gold miners, I was telling my subscriber, you need to buy gold miners, it's going to bounce. You can see 1% bounce. I've been telling even end of day, everybody for free advice, I was telling you guys, it's in the gold miners, it's going to bounce. And you can see from the buy zone to today, almost 2% bounce, okay? And GDXU, 3% in one day. You can see how good we can make these profits in like one day. You can see now SOXL, for example, XXX semiconductor ETF. This is in the buy zone right now. FNGU is in the buy zone right now. This is what you need to buy. Triple Q is now bouncing from the buy zone. Nasdaq's closed a little bit above buy zone. Anyhow, if you want these trade setups pre-market, just subscribe. It's only $7 a month. One trade can make you more than a couple of years of subscription fee. It's very cheap, very reasonable. And if you don't like, cancel next month. No contract, nothing. And it's very easy and it's very cheap for you guys to learn and also make some money. All right, guys. So starting with US 500, you can see now it's closing in the neutral zone. So if I go to SPY, this is what we use to trade Nasdaq 100, sorry, S&P 500. You can see on 1 hour chart, if I hide these extended hours line, regular trading lines, you can see there was this gap. I was telling my subscribers, it's possible we can fill this gap. This gap still looks like a little bit of gap left. So I think on Monday, what will happen, we'll fully close this gap. In my opinion, I will come back here around 0.5 or 0.6% down, and then we go higher, okay? Because there's no other gap left. So I think this green line is almost going to be ready soon. So if I again go back here, you can see what I'm expecting. On Monday, we go back a little bit down. We fill this gap, and then we go higher to fill this top gap. So from today's close, looking for a pump, you can see daily chart, this is what I'm expecting, looking for a pump and then fill this above gap, and then we come down later. That's the scenario I'm looking for. Keep that in mind and do your trades. So what I'm trying to tell you is we're very close to the bottom, okay? And US 100, triple Q, same thing. There is no gap right now left. The gap on the left is all the way here, but I think that's not going to happen soon. So I'm expecting a pump, and that pump will fill these two gaps before we go down and fill this other gap, okay? Now there's also this trend line. I don't think we're going to go to this trend line first. We will go and make a new, basically, I don't know if it could be a higher low before we go down. That's possible, but it's due. And also one thing you will see here on 1 hour chart, you can see what's happening here. We're making a divergence. You can see price is going lower and with higher momentum on PPO and RSI. You can see across the board, even futures, you can see US 500, same thing. We are making a divergence here. What does that mean? That means a reversal is coming very, very soon, and it's going to be very impulsive reversal, okay? So do not short here. This is not the time to short. Time to short is at the top. Even Nasdaq 100, you can see across the board, same thing. You can see reversals are happening here. Momentum is going higher as price is going lower. So this is the time you gotta be. You can see even all these indices, even US 2000 IWM ETF. Same thing, same story everywhere. Okay, so this is the time you gotta be a bull, not gonna be a bear. Okay, gold, you can see gold, same thing here. 1 hour chart, momentum is going higher. So I think a very explosive move is now in the corner, looking for a very explosive pump. Okay, so be very careful if you're shorting. You can see triple X ETF. This is not the right SOXL. You can see Fungu, higher momentum, same thing here. Triple Qs I already showed you. So be very careful shorting. This is the time you need to accumulate. So you need to start buying these stocks. All right. So gold, you can see here, this could be a reversal candle, inverse Thor hammer. You can see this is a inverse Thor hammer. Last time we got right Thor hammer. This could also be like a hanging man candle. This is usually a reversal candle. So whenever that happens, price reverses. Now we got in the opposite direction. So I think price is going to reverse very soon. You can see here, we got this here, it reverses. And let's see if there's any other instances you can get that. You can see here reversal candle and reverse. You can see here similar candle reverse. So it's quite possible. Also I wanted to show you on triple Qs. You can see we got indecision candle. You can see it's a doji candle. So when we got it at the top here, we made a decision to go down. This could be a decision. This could be the bottom to go up. Let's quickly look at candle on the SPY, how it looks like. Let's quickly see SPY. SPY is a different candle, but you can see indecision candle whenever it happens, it usually reverses. Let's look at futures. You can see futures. This is also like a price was all the way down, now it's recovered, so it could be a reversal candle here as well. Gold miners, you can see this looks like an engulfing candle. Basically a couple of days of price action is about to take over. Even junior gold miner is doing like that. Let's see Newmont mine, how that one is looking like. This is Newmont mine. Looks like this is the bottom, guys. This looks like a bottom. This is the biggest gold miner, and if this is about to bottom, then the all gold mining stocks will bottom, and GDX is about to head higher. All right. So I'm very bullish on gold and gold miners and tech stocks right now. These are the best trades right now. Let's look at silver. Silver is also on the trend line, very close to the trend line. It could come down now and then bounce, or it can bounce right away. I'm expecting it to bounce. Natural gas, very nice trend line just by the dip. You can see massive sell-off yesterday. That was a good opportunity to buy. It already bottomed, so just look to buy all the dips, and my indicator will tell you exactly when to buy. Crude oil is also in a buy the dip scenario, but it's holding very strong. Hang Seng Index is in the buy zone. You can see if I show you on my 1 minute chart, my special standard deviation. This is where you need to buy all the Chinese stocks. Okay, you can see it's in the buy zone. All Chinese stocks should be in the buy zone. Let's quickly look at them right now. And let's see, where is it? Let's see Alibaba. You can see came to the buy zone. This is another one I told my subscribers to buy. And if I turn on extended hours, you can see it was in the buy zone. In afternoon, I told people to buy it here. They must have bought it. Baidu is also in the buy zone. I gave this to my subscribers. It's filling two gaps. So this is also looking very healthy. MHCHI is the ETF, MCHI to replicate Hang Seng Index. So this is also in third standard deviation. You need to buy CQQ. This, because of the volume, it's not clearly shown, but it's also in the buy zone. Okay, and if you're Canadian, you can buy XCH. I think this will bounce very soon. Or VEEE. Chinese sector is looking very good. This is the time you need to buy when nobody wants to buy. Bitcoin is bouncing. You can see I told my subscribers it's coming to the buy zone. I gave them levels and now it's bouncing. I think it's going to go to all the way to the sell zone, 29,521. Ethereum also same thing. It's coming from buy zone. It's going to go to sell zone. So that's looking good. Copper is in the buy zone, near the buy zone. Let's quickly look at daily chart and let's do a long-term analysis. Let's see. So copper, if I see here, it's slightly below the support, slightly below this support, but we can see here there's another support here. You can see this whole area. You can see there's a lot of confluence of support here, this whole area. So it's coming to the support zone again. So these are the times you got to be bullish on metals, and I think they're going to bottom very soon. Wheat, on this trend line. Looks like it's about to break this trend line. Just remember, and this could be a fake out move as well, and it's quite possible that we can come and backtest this, the backtest of this trend line as well. So just be mindful of that, but look to buy all these dips. Okay, con again going below. This looks like they want to make a flag and go below, but this looks like a fake out move in my opinion. So because especially in the lower time frames, and it's in the buy zone. If I show you here, you can see it's in the buy zone right now here. So I am expecting a bounce very soon. Wheat is also in the buy zone. You can see here, copper is also in the buy zone, and soybeans also in the buy zone. All commodities except sugar, everything else, sugar is in the sell zone. So soybeans is also looking very good and looking for a bounce. You can see how nicely it's in the buy zone. Let's quickly look at Dow Jones. Dow Jones looks like trying to fill this gap, but it's still not filled. So on Monday, we could come down, fill this gap, and then bounce. IWM, Russell ETF, looks like it's getting reversal candle very soon. Looking for a bounce very soon on this, all right? And let's look at sectors. XLK looking for a bottom very soon on this and bounce. And let's quickly look at XLE. Again, massive move. Looks like this gap is filled. So you can see how nicely all gaps are usually filled. Now there are multiple gaps to the bottom that will also be filled, but I don't know when. But it's by the dip. Now on energy sector, XLV going higher. There's this gap here, so I think it's gonna go straight to fill this gap. Utility sector, did it come back on this trend line? No, it's trying its best to be back on this trend line. Soon it will be back. That will be the best time to. This is still the best time to buy utilities. It's gonna bounce very hard very soon. And industrial sector also looking. This bounce is starting, looking for a continuation to new highs. And real estate sector looks like it's also getting ready. There's a gap here, so that gap will be filled. Another gap here, so looking for a bounce. Financial sector flat, looking for a bounce again on this. So I am expecting all these sectors to bottom very soon, and then go for a bullish move. Tesla, very close to the trend line, and this gap is still not filled. So I think on Monday we're gonna go close this gap fully around 235, and that would be the bottom, I think, before we go higher. So I think that's what I'm looking for. So let me adjust this trend line again. Yeah, this looks like a good trend line, but yeah, look for this gap to be filled, and that will be the bottom. So I think on Monday we could get a little bit weakness to fill these gaps and then go higher. Netflix looking like also there's a gap here, so even Netflix can go and fill this gap on Monday or Tuesday and then go higher. Google, multiple gaps to the downside. Actually, it did fill this gap, so you can get rid of this. So you can see very nicely it filled this gap. You can see all these gaps are filled. Microsoft, right on the trend line, looks like it's breaking the trend line. But let's see if we can adjust this trend line slightly. Let's see if that's a possibility or not. You can see here, no. So this looks like a break of a trend line, but there's also a gap here, so maybe it's going to come down a little bit more, fill this gap. You can see this gap is around 315. If it comes to fill this gap on Monday, it looks like there will be a little bit more weakness before we have a bounce next week. That's what charts are telling me. And Meta broke this trend line. But again, I think we are due for a bounce because all the indices are forming a divergence. Apple, very close to this gap fill. I think it's going to fill this gap around 175 Monday or Tuesday and then bounce. Amazon already starting to fill the gap. We'll see. I think if everything bounces, this is going to bounce along with it. Snowflake's looking very weak. And again, I think if all indices bounce, this is going to bounce along with it. So we'll see how Snowflake's and NVDA, you can see this gap is also filled. If I zoom in, you can see I can get rid of this. This gap is also filled. Now there's another gap here. So looks like NVDA is very weak, and it's going to drag all semiconductor down. But if you get a bounce, maybe we'll get a lower high, and then we're going to come and start filling some of this gap. AMD, let's go to 1 hour chart. Looks like there are some gaps created. Let me hide this regular trading hours. And looks like, look, there's another gap here. So let's quickly add that gap to the top here. So you can see here, there's top gaps I highlight by yellow. NVIDIA, there's also a gap here. So again, another gap created here on NVIDIA. So we can just, let me just adjust this slightly here. And then Amazon, no gaps here. Snowflakes, multiple gaps here. Apple, let's quickly look at Apple, another gap here. So you got to adjust this slightly here because the gap is to the top side. And sometimes TradingView makes trading a bit harder to keep changing the levels. And Meta, no gaps here. Microsoft, looking good. All right. So let's quickly look at daily chart. Shopify, this gap is also close. Now there's only one gap here, so I'm looking this is looking weak, guys. This could be a bear flag, and before it goes lower, so this gap will be filled. Maybe this earnings gap is going to be given back again, looks like. So Disney looks like reversal candle after earnings, but it's in the buy zone, guys. This is where you're going to buy Disney and stocks like this. Let's see what else is here to review. Let's quickly look at levels in the short-term time frame for Monday, and let's see if we can find some stocks that can be in the buy zone. Let's quickly see. Let's bring extended hours back. Let's see extended trading here, and let's look at stocks. So gold miners, if you missed it, you missed it. Now it's in the neutral zone, so stay away. Nasdaq tech stocks in the middle, closer to buy zone, but it can dip below 14,972, and then you can buy triple Qs or Nasdaq stocks. S&P 500 near neutral zone, it can dip below 4441, look to buy there. And US 30 in the neutral zone, nothing to do here. US 2000 in the neutral zone, avoid that. Fungu is in the buy zone. SOXL is in the buy zone. Even regular SOXX, this is a regular 1x no leverage. It's also in the buy zone. Triple Qs, you can see closer to the buy zone. Silver in the middle, nothing to do here. Natural gas now in the middle. If you miss this, then wait for it to come back again or look to take profits here. Crude oil in the middle. Toronto Stock Exchange near the sell zone, so looking to take profits. Hang Seng Index, I told you, in the buy zone. Bitcoin near neutral zone. Ethereum near neutral zone. Bonds, let's quickly look at bonds, is in the buy zone. This is where you buy TLT. Dollar also in the sell zone. So this is very good news because dollar is in the sell zone. That means we're gonna. Actually, guys, I had an interruption. So I was saying dollar is in the sell zone, which is a good news for stock market and gold because it's going to sell down from sell zone, and that's going to be very bullish for equity sector. Copper in the buy zone, wheat in the buy zone, corn is in the buy zone, soya beans is also in the buy zone. All right, and let's quickly look at some of the stocks. XLK very nicely in the buy zone right now, and I'm only going to look into stocks with close red. Tesla is away. If it comes to this dotted line, which is gap fill, look to buy there. That's the buy zone. And Netflix right in the buy zone right now, and Microsoft in the middle. Wait for it to fall below 318. Meta in the buy zone right now. Apple, wait for it to close below 175, the gap fill. That's when we will be looking to buy. Amazon, leave it away. Snowflakes, closer to buy zone, but still a bit away. NVDA is in the buy zone, but I think it's overpriced, so I will stay away from semiconductors. AMD, I will prefer over NVIDIA. That looks good. ARKK is in the buy zone. Shopify is bouncing from the buy zone, very close to below 54.71, look to buy. IBM in the middle, nothing to do here. PayPal is in the buy zone, and Disney down 3%, still away from the buy zone. 88 and below, look to buy Disney. UPS 175.59 below, look to buy. Nike below 107.5, look to buy. Boeing below 233.64, look to buy. MasterCard in the middle, nothing to do here. And let's quickly look at Starbucks, nothing to do here. Uber again below 43.54, look to buy. And let's look at TELUS. Oh, it's bouncing now, massive bounce. TELUS was, I remember a time when TELUS was in the buy zone for so long. I told everybody to buy, and I forgot checking it, but it's looking good now. Hopefully you guys have bought it. And yeah, looks like it's in the sell zone now, so nothing to do here. Bell is also in the middle, nothing to do here. And Chinese stocks, I already showed you, all of them are in the buy zone in the earlier trade, earlier this morning. And let's quickly look at banks. Looks like banks are bouncing. Citigroup little bit higher. Sun Life in the buy zone right now. Manulife in the middle. Let's say BN in the top here. WCN bouncing from the buy zone, it's away, and QSR is in the buy zone. And Enbridge, you can see, I was telling people, if you remember, a while ago, a couple of days ago, last week, like buy Enbridge, and look at this now. It's like in the sell zone, massive bounces now happening on Enbridge. So these indicators always work. Let's look at growth stocks. Zoom below 66, look to buy. Target in the middle. Plug still in the buy zone. Plug. Palantir in the middle, wait for it to fall below 15.07. AEHR in the buy zone. SE in the middle, nothing to do here. TTD in the buy zone. Square in the buy zone. And REIT a bit away from the buy zone. Alright guys, hopefully this was very educational and very helpful for you to trade. Again, if you want to join, if you want to know pre-market and mid-market updates, if you want to ask any questions, I will reply to you. And you can join my channel, only $7 a month, which is very cheap, nothing to lose. And you can make money in one trade for the whole year. And please, on your way out, hit the like button. I will really appreciate it. And I wish you all a great weekend and have a great rest of the day. Bye.